Danger, Will Robinson. Danger.
This is Sparta!
Fatality.
Welcome to episode number 444 of the UFO Buster Radio News Report. And actually, today is our the hell was that about? I turned into a pirate all of a sudden. It is our episode about space and the news. And of course, one of the things that I'm not going to talk about is the whole, the conjecture, whatever the hell it is. Not going to talk about it. There's enough of that going around. This whole 800-year thingy. And actually, you know, what's the funny thing is that last week I was driving around and I would see this and I'm like, God, that's really freaking bright. And lo and behold, I wasn't paying attention to any of the news regarding Saturn and Jupiter. So there you go. I missed out on all that craziness. But there is no lack of news about it. Everyone's on it. They're basically trying to figure out what's going to go down. What does it mean? Is this the star that led the wise men to the baby Jesus? I don't know. I really couldn't tell you what the hell is going on, but it is what it is, right? It's a pretty thing to look at, for sure. So we'll see what happened. The conjunction is something else, quite a sight to see. And even people who regularly are not into space news or all that other nonsense, they're looking up in the sky. They're trying to catch this. I mean, people are going to other people's houses to get into their telescope biz, all of their equipment just to see it. What can you do? That's the way it is. Once in a lifetime, because not a single person listening to this podcast is going to live another 800 years or however long it's going to take. So, I mean, you do what you got to do. It's either that or you get yourself a cult together and pray to the conjunction function and see if maybe you'll get taken up by whatever is driving the situation. I wouldn't be surprised if there's one out there already, to be honest. Anyway, this is not about that. This is about space news. And we got some news for you, especially about Uranus. Very fascinating stuff going around. It's a little crazy. It is a little crazy. By the way, there is a deal about SN9. Actually, they actually fixed that damn flap, so it should be sitting ready for another launch. Another nice launch due to SN9, and I can't wait to see it. We got to see this. This time has got to do it. It's got to make it right. SpaceX is going to get this Starship serial number 9 to do what it needs to do and land correctly without blowing up. It's weird because when you look at the wreckage from SN8, it just looked like an empty tin can. So no fucking loss. None whatsoever. It is what it is. So there you go. We're going to get started. The music is all over the place today, by the way. So, at one point you're going to be down in Jamaica. Another point you're in Cuba. And it's just everywhere. So get your mojito and your ganja ready. Because that's the way it's going to go down today. Let's get on with it.
All I ever wanted was you, but you left me alone inside these empty, broken walls. And I can't see it clearly, but it's obvious. I know that you left me alone inside this empty, broken hall. And now you'll be the reason why my soul is tainted. Somebody help me, 'cause I'm feeling trapped and I don't know what to do. There's no one to save me from this hurt I feel deep within my bones. Did you ever think of me and see the things I did? Sold my soul and everything I was to the lowest bid. Crawled into your poison dome, yet every single time you got into my mind, you got into my mind. But all I ever wanted was you. But you left me alone inside these empty, broken walls. And I can't see it clearly, but it's obvious. I know that you left me alone inside this empty, broken hall. And now you'll be the reason why my soul is tainted. So how can I fix this? 'Cause I need to stop the aching in my head. My heart is breaking. Yeah, I'm tired of being stuck in the past. Did you ever think of me and see the things I did? Sold my soul and everything I was to the lowest bid. Crawled into your poison dome, yet every single time you got into my mind, you got into my mind. But all I ever wanted was you. But you left me alone inside these empty, broken walls. And I can't see it clearly, but it's obvious. I know that you left me alone inside this empty, broken hall. And now you'll be the reason why my soul is tainted. The reason why my soul is tainted. You're the reason why my soul is tainted. You're the reason why my soul is tainted. You're the reason why my soul is tainted.
So there's a bit of confusion in the live chat regarding the conjunction. The conjunction of 800 years that I'm referring to, it is a Christmas Day conjunction, which is the brightest star, basically, that might have been seen 800 years ago. And for us in the United States, it's happening at night. So there's where your 800 years come from. Yeah, this thing happens between Saturn and Jupiter almost every 20 years. But it's set up so that for you guys who love Christmas, this is your night sky to have your own conjunction, among other little things that you do on the side. Who the hell knows what that is? As science goes, apparently we are on track to discover all these moons, all these ice-covered moons that may have oceans hidden beneath them. According to the story, Uranus might have H2O, believe it or not. And where might it be? It might be hiding under the surface. Science is now looking at a way to look at these icy worlds, of course, that are in our solar system, but are 4.2 far, in order to figure out if they are hiding beneath the surface of the ice, possibly an entire ocean with a whole ecosystem. On December 15th, at a meeting of astronomers, researchers led by Benjamin Weiss, a planetary scientist at the MIT, the famed MIT, they apparently developed a method for future missions to actually confirm the existence of subsurface oceans on worlds like the moons of Uranus, or Uranus, depending on how happy you are about how that's pronounced. Apparently, the team is looking to hopefully gain a little bit more understanding and knowledge behind this in order to, get folks like NASA to buy into it and hopefully use this technique to answer that question finally. Uranus has exactly 27 moons in total, but there are 5 large moons that science believes may hold oceans. Isn't that just nuts? Isn't that crazy? What a far walk we've taken. What a far trip this has been from where we were several decades ago when there wasn't H2O anywhere. Now it's all over the place, from the moon all the way up Uranus. That's just crazy. It's completely nuts. The 5 moons of Uranus that they're talking about is Titania, Oberon, Umbriel, Ariel, and Miranda. That is crazy. Now, back when Voyager 2, for you Trekkie fans, when it swooped by Uranus back in 1986, it captured images that showed that the 5 big moons were made up of both equal parts of rock and ice, and they were heavily cratered. One of these images even showed physical signs of liquid water erupting from the surface of one of the moons, and through that process of cryovolcanism. Completely crazy. So now we've got all these moons that have water. Even our own moon has water, but yet there isn't life anywhere. Just on our stinky little planet. Isn't that kind of weird? Is this like a form of denial? Isn't it? It's just crazy that science cannot just get that together in any particular way whatsoever. It's completely nuts. But hopefully this technique, which of course they don't disclose, one of the things that they didn't mention in the article is that the actual report, the research, has not been published. They covered this in this meeting on December the 15th, but they haven't published it yet. So we don't really know what the hell the technique is and whether or not NASA is going to be interested in trying that. But it looks like to me like NASA's got their hands filled anyway with so many projects right now and so many of these commercial enterprises. I don't see how they can keep track of what's going on. The good thing is recently the bill that Trump signed, that budget bill, which also includes the UFO report from the task force, it also included money for NASA, and I believe is in the tune of between $21 and $23 billion. So for Pete's sake, NASA, just get something going. Let's find out what the hell's going on the moon at least. Please. Someone needs to figure that out. But in the meantime, somebody also has got to take these guys up, especially Benjamin Weiss, see if maybe we can do something about finding out whether or not the moons around Uranus have water, can sustain life, and whether or not they have life. I would think it's about time that we answer at least that question for the love of Pete. They might want to deny every other form of alien life, but can you at least just let us know? Microbial life. I'm good with that. I think it'll be fantastic if they let us know that. Microbial life is what we want to know. I mean, we can't really force their hand on anything else because, for fuck's sake, it'll be horrendous trying to get them to admit to anything else. But if your anus is wet, chances are there's life in it, according to this article. Check out the article. There's a lot more information. It's actually from space.com. So you can read all sorts of stuff in it. It's one of those 3-shitter papers. You know, you got to be on the shitter at least 3 times before you can finish the whole article. So this one's a 3-shitter. Hopefully, you'll enjoy all the info.
We got our windows down, driving down the 405, sing along to the radio. We're gonna make it someday, nothing's gonna get in our way. We will be the biggest band in town. Round and round the world we'll go, putting on the greatest show. So make sure that you don't miss out, just be there. We're taking our shot, bring what you got. We're going all the way to the top. We will hear the sound of 1 million people screaming our names when we're backstage. We'll play loud, surfing the crowd. Everybody's jumping around. Yeah, that's the place where I wanna be. Going on stage, headline on a Saturday night. Oh, 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 Saturday night. I'm gonna quit my job, never wanna have no boss. I just wanna play my rock and roll like they do on the radio. Tommy's got brand new drums, and I still have my old guitar. And John said this next song's gonna be real good, if you know what I mean. Round and round the world we'll go, putting on the greatest show. So make sure that you don't miss out, just be there. We're taking our shot, bring what you got. We're going all the way to the top. We will hear the sound of 1 million people screaming our names when we're backstage. We'll play loud, surfing the crowd. Everybody's jumping around. Yeah, that's the place where I wanna be. Going on stage, headline on a Saturday night. Oh, 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 Saturday night. Oh, oh, round and round the world we'll go, putting on the greatest show. So make sure that you don't miss out, just be there. Oh, just be there. We're taking our shot, bring what you got. We're going all the way to the top. We will hear the sound of 1 million people screaming our names when we're backstage. We'll play loud, surfing the crowd. Everybody's jumping around. Yeah, that's the place where I wanna be. Going on stage, headline on a Saturday night. Oh, 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 Saturday night. Oh, oh, oh.
I don't know about you guys, but whenever I see the pictures of Saturn and Jupiter, especially when they're taken through like an amateur telescope, it is really weird to me because it's like, gosh, they really fucking look that way. It's just nuts that we can actually pull up some telescope from somewhere that we pick up at some hobby store, and today we can actually see them pretty fucking clearly, to be honest. You can see those rings, and it is just surreal. Now, I was discussing this with somebody the other day. It is so real, not so real, but surreal, that you can see it. You can actually sit there and see these things that people have thrown so many conspiracies on, saying that NASA's hiding this, NASA's hiding that. They're lying about these planets. They're lying about who the fuck went to the moon and all that kind of stuff. But a lot of this stuff you can see yourself. It's just crazy how some of these conspiracies work. But for fuck's sake, you can see it. You can actually see it. Scientists discover superhighway network which can be used to travel through the solar system. What the fuck are they talking about? What is this? What's superhighway? In the void? There's really a superhighway in the emptiness of space, not so empty space. Yeah, apparently they discovered this. It's a network that can travel through the solar system much faster than many thought possible. I mean, how else do those TR-3Bs get around anyway? I mean, Corey Goode can tell you. He's got his own Autobahn out there, riding around, killing off reptilians on Mars. That's really who we need on the podcast, to be honest. We need Corey Goode to straighten out all these articles. Let us know. How is it that he do it? You know, how did he get from here to Mars? How fast did it go? And did they use a celestial superhighway that runs through our solar system? For fuck's sake. I just don't know. I really don't. Anyway, so it turns out that this so-called superhighway can actually drive comets and asteroids near Jupiter all the way up to Neptune in under a decade, under 10 years. And that's just crazy, whatever the fuck that means. I mean, no matter how you look at it, it is slow as hell. Let's be honest. I don't know if they're excited about this. I don't know if one of them felt like their scientific cherry got popped on this. I don't get it. It's still fucking slow as hell. There's nothing exciting about this. Nothing at all. A statement came out from UC San Diego in the paper that was published on November the 25th that they pretty much observed what they call a dynamical. What the fuck is dynamical? Really, the article says dynamical. A dynamical structure of these routes forming connected series of arches inside space manifolds that range all the way up from Uranus again. Like Uranus is all over the place. You're going to get a reputation, I'm telling you, and beyond. They're calling it the Celestial Autobahn or the Celestial Superhighway, and it acts as several decades of travel, unlike the millions of years that usually characterize solar system dynamics. Listen, it's really not going to help anybody right now. I don't understand this. The funniest thing is, in this particular article, the one that really stood out to me was the fact that they said that many of the arches for this particular celestial Autobahn through our solar system are linked to Jupiter and its gravitational force. Well, imaginary that. Imaginary the idea. If you could fathom this just for a moment, just for 1 second, right? That we had an individual who was labeled a whistleblower who talked about these propulsion systems that had to do with gravity and how fast these vehicles could probably move with these tiny little engines that they had. And here we are again. You know, a couple years ago, you know, they finally came out and admitted to there being gravity waves. And now we're saying that thanks to the gravitational pull of Jupiter, that there's a gravitational superhighway. What in the hell is going on? I feel like a lot of times, you know, whenever we see that they've been rubber dicking people like, you know, Bob Lazar, that it turns out that it just takes science about 40, 50 years to catch up and finally realize that maybe these guys that were called rubber dickers and wackos and kooks, that they may have been correct to begin with. Imagine that. That's where we are today. Completely crazy. Anyway, so they're still studying these so-called structures, trying to figure out how they can use them in order to move a spacecraft a lot faster from our planet to the rest of the solar system. It's just amazing how, you know, we have to go through things and situations where people aren't taken seriously until the point where science figures it out. And then at that point, it's a real thing. So here we go. Now, can anyone take a leap in the science community and say, maybe, this is what's being taken by possibly life from somewhere else to travel the cosmos to get from place to place? Maybe there's other celestial highways that we don't know about because we haven't identified certain energies or really even understand the universe that we live in. The next article actually is, it kind of drives into this one in a way because, again, what is it and how is it that we're seeing the things that we do in space? It's a good question. By the way, get your mojito ready. Funny thing that I'm playing this music, right? And the next one is also from somewhere else. But the first thing that came to mind is that we got to say what's up to Pucky. He's probably not even listening to the podcast right now because he's down in South Africa. He's like out there in the Serengeti somewhere. Like he's been sharing pictures with us. Like he's like stroking elephant's tusk and stuff like that, feeling up tigers and lions. Oh my. But a fantastic place to be. Let me tell you. These pictures he's showing, it's amazing. It's amazing, this planet that we live in. And it's so sad that we don't get to experience it. So really jelly about Pucky's adventures. But fantastic to see one of the Asgardians spreading their wings and headed to a different continent to start some shit. But that's just the way it goes, man. You got to travel. You got to enjoy your planet before you kick the bucket and end 6 feet under or in somebody's barbecue. I'm just saying. The The search for life. Someone actually had a great idea, and it is what it is. It is a fantastic idea. We have conspiracy theories about this also, so it's like not anything new, to be honest. But this article goes through kind of like the history, right? Right about the things that we did over the few decades ago, maybe up to 7 or so, in the search for extraterrestrial life, based on looking for radio signals, lasers, and those kind of techno signatures from outer space. We've been looking for decades, even though there's people here getting probed on the daily. But still, also during that time, we were sending our own techno signatures in the form of probes into space. We got Voyager 1, Voyager 2, Pioneer 10, 11, New Horizons. We literally are sending junk into space. And as we know with the V'gers, they're out there. They've left the solar system. They're way out in deep space. Crazy. The question in this article is, instead of just fucking listening, instead of just sending messages, why not look to see if maybe there are other probes heading our way? They're basically saying if we take, for instance, a planet that's in a habitable zone, the Goldilocks zone, and we compare it to our development, wouldn't it be likely that they've sent out their own V'gers, their own pioneers, out into space? Maybe they've sent out a New Horizon version and just let it go. Kept it flying. Like we are with Voyager 1 and 2, which are in interstellar space. Why not look for that type of signature? Now, understandably so, we already know that it is a enormous pain in the ass to stay in contact with things like Voyager 1 and 2. Very, very weak signals, pretty damn far away. But there's got to be something in there that we can learn from what we're doing in order to figure out if maybe there's another spacefaring, because, well, shit, we're not really spacefaring yet. We've only dabbled in it. But if maybe there's another species out there that has been able to do the same, we should be searching for probes as well. The article also brings up Oumuamua because so many people talked about that this thing was so different. It was so different in its characteristics, its size, its trajectory, the fact that it did not come from our own solar system, the fact that it didn't even have a tail. There was no carbon coming from it. But yet, it was hauling ass through our solar system. The idea at the time was, from some folks on the fringe, that this was some kind of alien probe. Something that was hurled at our solar system to find out what the hell we were doing, take measurements, take pictures, whatever, selfies, whatever it was. But it goes in line with the idea that possibly if this was, for the sake of argument, a probe, why are we looking for oddities like this that have some kind of a techno signature? This is what this article is all about. And I think it's fantastic. It is another great way to look at our universe if we are to accept the idea that there is life out there. That maybe they don't look like us. Maybe they're not bipedal. Maybe they're not hairy. They could be freaking reptilians because everybody loves them so much. But whatever they are, whatever they look like, what's to say that they're not doing the same thing we are, or maybe did it 2,000 years ago, and they are so damn far that we're just now going to possibly find evidence of them sending probes into the cosmos. It really is a good idea. I'm gonna be honest. Listening and sending messages, no one's gonna No one wants to, handle up with the hairless apes. No, not the warring hairless apes that likes blowing each other up. Nobody wants to do that. But if they're sending stuff out, that's what we should look for. It's a pretty good article. Check out the link. It's actually, believe it or not, from Scientific American. A reputable publication. And it's a fantastic idea. Barring the fact that they talk about Oumuamua, everything else is great. Who knows what the fuck Oumuamua was? But it caught us by surprise, right? Everybody in the science labs and in the observatories were caught with their pants around their ankles because they were doing other stuff instead of watching the sky. So Oumuamua came and went, dazzled everyone in its characteristics, in its size, its shape. But at the end of the day, we were too slow to the game. And we'll have to wait for the next one that comes back our way. But imagine if it comes from the same origin, from the same part of the sky. That would lead to some serious questions, I think. But we'll see. One more article to go. This one is about an event. No, not on Christmas Day, but something that is going to creep up on us really quick before we know it.
Let's go to work, 'cause I'm tripping. Gotta work on myself, 'cause I'm falling apart. Please wake me up, 'cause I'm slipping. Can't fight this feeling off no more. But I'm not going to give up and fall. Rise above the door, meet all my challenges and search for my strength. I defeat them all. I'm never ever gonna hide no more. I come to love myself again. Yeah. For all the things I didn't know, the pain, the hurt, I let it go. Start to believe in myself, and life will be sweet again. So sweet again. Above it all, beat all my challenges and search for my strength. I defeat them all. I never ever gonna hide no more. I come to love myself again. For all the things I didn't know, the pain, the hurt, I let it go. Let it go. And I start to believe in myself, and life will be sweet again. Oh na na, oh na 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 na. When all I see is darkness and gloom, yeah, I'll be running from my doom. Oh na 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 na. But now it's time to live my life, but now I know what I need to do. Oh na 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 na. When all I see is darkness and gloom, yeah, I'll be running from my doom. Oh na 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 na. But now it's time to live my life, but now I know what I need to do.
This is more like a public service announcement for you guys, because I know you forget. You got things to do. You got to get vaccinated. You got to get your back cracked. You got to, shuffle through the local grocery store trying to get Sugargate paper because there's a new strand of COVIDs. I know. COVID-19B. And you got to prepare. You got to be like a prepper waiting for the end of the world. But in the meantime, we have 57 days and counting before the mission Mars 2020 hits the ground running, I guess. I don't think that's a good I don't think that's a good term. I don't think NASA would appreciate hitting the ground. But that's what the fuck it's gonna do. It should be landing Perseverance, the latest rover from NASA, on February 18th, 2020. It took off July 30th, and the landing site is a Jezero crater on Mars. Like anybody really gives two fucks about that. The cool thing is, there's two cool things about this damn thing, and that is the Mars helicopter. I don't know how we're going to see this because they always give us, shitty ass pictures, time lapse, things we really can't use, and plenty of satellites are on Mars, so who knows? Maybe we'll be able to see some kind of video from this. But the little Mars helicopter going to attempt to fly. Right now, it's hitching a ride with Perseverance, and I don't think it's going to happen immediately. I think it'll take a couple of weeks before they let that puppy go. But imagine if they do. One of the things that I've been looking forward, because they've always talked about a mission about letting one of those go, like a little helicopter thingy, or a little, maybe like a submarine type thing, a little ocean robot, to drop it on one of these damn moons with all the liquid, with all the H2O, the oceans. At least the ones that they know, not your wet Uranus, but all the other ones. I think it's a good step, right? Because listen, for the love of Pete, can you just let us know the truth? That is that there at least is microbial life. I don't understand what's going so long for them to just let us know. My hope right now is on Japan or China to just let it go. More than likely, some of the other countries like the United States will say that either Japan or China ended up basically putting their own, like jizzing all over the samples, and somehow they got contaminated, and that's why there's little Chinese life or little Japanese life all over their samples. I don't know. I just think it's messed up, but hopefully it doesn't go that way, because for damn sure, Hayabusa 2 or Chang'e, one of you has got to bring back some life for the Lower Pete. That's my bet. That's what I'm hoping for 2021. I will forget all about COVID-19 if somebody announces that. Now, some of the objectives for our Perseverance junk bot will be geological. Fuck, it's almost the end of the podcast. Diverse in the landing site. They got a lot of geology there. Some rocks to look at, shit to dig into. Who cares? It's also going to assess ancient habitability. Nobody gives two fucks about that. Two strikes on you, NASA. It's going to look for signs of ancient life. Nobody, what in the fuck? Why are they so focused on ancient life? Fuckers, live for today. Today is what matters. It's also going to look for signs of life over time. What about today time? This mission is so fucked up, it's just crazy. It's going to gather rocks and soil samples that could be one day returned to Earth by a future NASA mission. Why not? Everybody else is fucking doing it. Why not NASA? Demonstrate technology for future robotic and human exploration. That would be, of course, our little helicopter buddy. The truth is that it is just mind-boggling that with all the shit that happens on Mars, with all the, chemicals that's being picked up, all the the things like methane, the cyclical methane and all that kind of stuff, they really give no fucks about it. Like, they're not willing to shoot something up to that area and examine that. Look at that shit. Put it under a telescope. Do something. No, they want to go digging fucking rocks to look at ancient life. I don't understand who the fuck spends the money over there, but it's pretty sad. It really is. But hopefully, like I said, Hayabusa 2, Cheng 5, maybe they will have a discovery that will click with the fuckers at NASA and let them know that if one of these countries, or any other country, it could be India, it could be Israel, who knows? But if one of these other countries says, hey, we found microbial life on this asteroid, or we found it on the moon, that they will get a fucking clue and realize that they need to get out of the damn past and start looking into the future, because there are things out there that we need to know about before we travel into space. And a lot of it we can't even see. That's the end of the podcast for today. Of course, I got some kind of a holiday tune for you because I care. And sharing is caring.